Hey everybody, how you doing? So today is day 3 of our Osmosis Lab, Egg Lab. So we've gone through weighing our egg in the shell just like it is, and then we weighed it, we left it there for like a day and a half, and when the shell was removed, we weighed it again. And then when we did that, we noticed that we had a higher, a much larger weight than we did before. So now what we have to do, and I added a little video which you're gonna see on how to do the difference in weight and also the change, the percentage change. So you should have watched the video on how to do that. So now what we're going to do is, when we got our end weight of our vinegar, which was here, we are going to put it as, I switched these. I don't know if yours is going to say this. Corn syrup is here. So it's going to be our beginning weight for the corn syrup, because this was when it was in the vinegar. We took it out, and remember, then we put it into the corn syrup. Well, this is how much it weighed before the corn syrup. So we're just going to write the same thing. Remember, these are grams. So in the bottom. So notice how my end weight here is going to be the same as my start weight for the next one. Okay, so today what we're going to do is we are going to empty the cup with the egg, the corn syrup out, and then we're going to put it in water. So we're going to weigh that first right now. Okay, so I'm going to put this over here. And I want you to really look at this, because you need to write a description of the egg. And here it is now. So you can see how it looks very different from what it used to look like, right? It's kind of all shriveled up. So I'm going to put it on the scale and weigh it. Here's what the egg, here's an example of what the egg used to look like when it was, just so you have an idea, when it was in the vinegar, it looked like this. Oh, I don't want my computer to get wet. Here. So you can see how big it is and not shriveled, right? It looks huge in comparison. Okay, so now I'm going to take the egg out of the cup and weigh it again. See how shriveled up it looks now? But I'm going to pour out the corn syrup, and I want you to notice something, that you know how thick that corn syrup was beforehand. Look at how it's like water now almost. See how light it is, like water? So it's like not as thick as the corn syrup was. So I'm going to pour that out, and I'm going to gently, at the bottom it's still syrupy, but at the top it's mostly water. So now I'm going to put that egg very carefully on here. You can see how shrunken up it looks there. All the corn syrup was kind of at the bottom of the cup. Alrighty. So, okay, now we're going to weigh our egg. Let me move this back a touch. And we're going to start with our 10. So I'm going to move it over to 30, still too high. 40's high. 50 goes all the way down, so I'm going to go back to 40. And now I'm going to move my ones. And we're going to go a little bit more. So there we have 41.5. Right, over here, this one should be 41. I think I put that in the wrong spot. Okay, and then you're gonna do your subtraction to get your difference and then multiply that. So you have a video to show you how to do that. So now we're gonna put this egg back into water and see what happens then. So I kind of want you to predict, what do you think is gonna happen if I put this egg, right, back into the water? So what I'm going to do is, to start it, I'm going to take this one, because this is what it looks like before we put it in water. So that's my start weight. So I'm going to put that number down here. So 41.5 grams. And remember, along the way, you're writing what your observations before soaking, observations after soaking. Here. So make sure you keep up with your observations. All right. So now I'm going to put it, let me empty this. Okay, so now I have just plain water, right? And I'm going to put, you got to be very careful with these. You can see how mushy it is. So now I'm going to put it back in the water like this. So see how it looks? So now we're going to see what happens to it now. So I want you guys to make a hypothesis, make an educated guess. What do you think is going to happen with this egg now that we put it in the water? All right. And so that's what we're doing right now.